Aquanauta Pro kayak from Bay Sports. One of our best-selling kayaks in the entire range, thanks to its lightweight and compact size. What people love about this one most is you get the speed associated with a sit-in kayak, but in a shorter length and wider width than most sit-inside kayaks. So it gives you more of the stability that you associate with a sit-on-top kayak, and the speed and versatility that you can take a sit-in kayak, including coastal kayaking out in the ocean, for example. This kayak here measures in at 3.3 meters long. It's 66 centimeters wide, which is quite wide for a sitting kayak, and its highest point about 40 centimeters high. The Pro model itself weighs a total of 23 kilograms, thanks to its 3-layer sandwich core construction. Its younger brother, the Aquanauta, weighs in at 21 kilos. The main difference between the Aquanauta base model and the Pro model are 3 key things. Firstly, our Comfort Flex seating system comes included as standard on the Pro model. This seat's far superior in terms of the comfort and back support, and we'll show you a close-up shortly of that. Secondly, the base model is made out of a high-density polyethylene plastic, whereas the Aquanauta Pro is our 3-layer signature sandwich core construction. So what that means is we weave polyethylene plastic with a polyethylene foam. That strengthens the actual core or the hull of the kayak and allows us to shave off about 2 kilos of weight from the hull to counter the extra weight from the Comfort Flex 4 seat. So the strength and the construction of the Pro model is superior to the base model. The third and final major difference is the premium SmartTrack brand rudder system. So this rudder system in particular is as good as it gets in terms of rudder systems on kayaks, made by the brand SmartTrack. Really, really lightweight, spring-loaded, an absolute dream to use in terms of maneuverability and use on the water. Starting at the front, as you can see, it's got a nice bit of rocker towards the bow. You've got a grab handle at the front and the rear for carrying it. The front and the rear of the kayak has some reflective deck rigging with little bits in there, so if you're paddling at sunrise or sunset and boats' lights shine on here, you'll be able to be seen on the water. That's in addition to the brightness from your life jacket for your safety. You've also got a rubber hatch lid at the front. These are really high quality rubber hatch lids, keep it nice and watertight, and provide some storage in the front here. So you've got storage from the bulkhead at the front all the way up into the very nose of the bow. You'll see here a little slit in the bulkhead. That is not a defect. That's just to allow the bulkhead to have room to move as the kayak compresses or expands during hot weather. As we move to sort of the midsection, you can see here it goes elevated. It's designed so if water splashes up over onto the bow, it's going to go down into these drain channels here and down into the water rather than in your cockpit. It also gives you lots of leg room and vertical height inside the cockpit. So for the taller paddler, say 6'3", 6'4", you're going to have lots of leg room and more height without hitting your knees. Directly in front of the cockpit, there is a molded in base with 2 brass inserts. That's so you can mount a universal holder. If you might want to put a fishing rod there, maybe a phone, all sorts of things, a light on a pole. So you've got one of these built in, very handy for decking out your Aquanauta kayak. As mentioned, you do have these drain channels that run down the side to disperse the water, as well as a lip on the cockpit, so you can attach a spray skirt for when you're out paddling to stop water getting in the cockpit, as well as a cockpit cover to keep the creepy crawlies out of the kayak. As you move into the midsection, you can see you've got some thigh braces here, so they're designed to sit just around in front of your knee. They're a nice thick padded foam, if you can have a look here. So you get support above your knee, around the sides, which helps you when you're bracing, if you're paddling hard and you want to brace yourself, protect your core. You can push up against those thigh braces to ensure you protect your back. You'll notice these pre-drilled holes here, so you can adjust if you've got longer legs or shorter legs. You can adjust your thigh braces to suit your paddling position. As you focus on the Comfort Flex 4 seat, this is a big upgrade over the standard seat on the Aquanauta base model. First of all, you've got some thicker padding foam here, as well as a much wider seating area. You'll notice you've got the bucket seat as the frame, but this padded seating area in here is quite long. It's about 50 centimeters in length and almost 40 centimeters in width. And one thing we love is this little adjustable seat, so you can pull the cord. This goes up underneath your thighs, so it gives you more support underneath for a more comfortable paddling position, depending on how much you like to bend your knees. So you can go all the way up to here, and you lock it in place with the little teeth on here. You can also adjust the strength or tension on the actual seat cables, as well as behind the seat. If you prefer a flatter sitting position while you're kayaking, you just release it from the little teeth, and you can push it down. Directly to the right-hand side, here, you've got this cord which pulls the tension on the seat. So if you would like to have the seat pulled forward more, as you can see here, I've just adjusted the seat forward about 10 centimeters. Or if you prefer to have it all the way back, you can adjust it and then lock it in place using the teeth. So a really comfortable and adjustable seat on the Aquanauta Pro model. On the right hand side here, this is your cord to raise and lower the rudder system, which we'll demonstrate. So you simply remove the bungee cord, which secures your rudder. By default, your rudder blade will sit in the slot. Once you get out into 30, 40 centimeters depth of water, you simply grab onto this from the cockpit, you pull it to lower the rudder into the water, and then you can just push it into the teeth to hold it down. As you're coming back to shore or land, you simply lift it up and that will spring back into its slot. You can secure it for travel and transport onto the little loop there. You'll notice there is the new upgraded footrests. These are really good, work a treat, very comfortable under your foot. You can adjust the length simply by using one hand to lift up the lever, slide it along for longer legs, or pull it back for shorter legs. You just drop it down to lock it in place. Controlling the kayak rudder is as simple as pushing left at the toe piece here to turn the kayak left, or pushing on the right hand side to turn the kayak right. As we move further down into the kayak, just behind the cockpit, you'll see this is the widest section of the kayak, and that's what forms part of the Aquanauta range of kayaks stability. So having 66 centimeters of width at the midpoint of the kayak where you're sitting provides extra stability. So you get that sort of sit on top kayak feel in terms of stability. It's not too tippy, but you've got the nice hull design, which gives you beautiful tracking in all sort of water conditions. In the rear, more bungee cord. You can put a dry bag or a camping tent underneath there, keep it nice and secure. As well as in the rear, this is where your main storage area is. So you've got an oval hatch cover here, high quality rubber. And you'll see in here, you've got the tools that come with your kayak for adjusting the rudder, as well as removing any of the horseshoe buckles. So they're included in the little bag there. What you'll notice is the storage in here is a lot bigger. So again, you could easily pack a couple of days worth of camping gear, about a 20 litre dry bag in there. Pop the lid on, which is secured with a cord. So if you do capsize or it does blow off in your car, it is still secured to the kayak. You just peel it out the edges like this and make sure you push it right over like that. That ensures a proper watertight bond so that water won't get inside the rear hatch. Again, at the rear of here, water that splashes over can be channeled out on these little drain channels here. Lastly, you've got another bungee cord here. Perhaps if you wanted to store your paddle, put some sun cream on or take a drink of water, you can slide your paddle blade under through here and that'll keep your paddle secure and out of the way whilst you do what you need to. The Smart Track rudder system itself is fantastic. We made the decision to upgrade the rudder system on all of our sit-in kayaks from the Aquanauta Pro through to our Expedition range. These rudder systems are lightweight. They're an ABS construction, so they're very strong, very lightweight. Being just 3.3 meters in length, it's quite a maneuverable kayak, especially with quite a lot of rocker. It's got a shorter waterline. So that paired with this Smart Track Hybrid 4 rudder system makes the Aquanauta a super maneuverable kayak. When you're paddling in a straight line, it holds it really nicely, further assisted by your rudder system. Quick and easy deployment from your starboard or right-hand side of the cockpit makes using your rudder system super easy. And if you ever forget to actually pull your rudder cord when you're coming into, say, shore or a sandbank, if it does hit something, it will just kick back up like that. And as mentioned, being strong ABS construction, it's going to be very hard to damage that. And as you notice here, all the components and fittings on the Aquanauta, from the footrest to the fittings, are all high quality. So there's no nylon cords here, like on an older model Aquanauta kayak. They all now have these stainless steel cabling throughout. Looking at the underside of the Aquanauta, you can see it's got a little bit of curvature from the center line towards the sides, but more or less it's quite flat. So it does have really good width for a long way, providing good stability. Included, as you can see, is a two-piece kayak paddle. That's our touring blade with the drip stops. Adjustable here as well, so if you want to have an offset paddling position, you can just change the angle of the blades. If you prefer a flat blade, you can do as such. You've got these little grips as well, which go over the aluminium shaft, providing you with more grip, as well as in winter, that's freezing to touch, whereas these won't be that cold, so nice in your hands. You've got the water stoppers here to prevent water running off the blade, hitting here, going back into the water, as well as on the actual paddle itself. It's got these incisions here to help with the water dripping back.